So you're obviously going to need some ink to use the clear stamps. And there may be some ink that you already have at school that you may be able to use, but you may not get as good results as you would get with a good quality craft ink. I'm just going to show you some ink that you may have at school. It's from a kids wood-mounted stamp set that Aldi was selling recently, and I just wanted to show you how this kind of ink pad works, what sort of results you'll get. So I'm just using my Father's Day mug again, and you'll see that using a ink pad like this one, the ink pad is quite small, and so if I had a bigger stamp and I just wanted the purple, it would go over onto the black. So this kind of ink pad is only really good for small stamps. But anyway, I'm just going to tap, tap, tap into there. I'm just going to push a little bit harder with this kind of ink pad, and I'm going to push and lift. Okay, so there's that. I'm just going to clean off my stamp, and I'll just hold that up so you can see what that looks like. So it's on the blotchy side. It's it's okay, but it hasn't really stamped all that well. I'll show you now the sort of results you can get with a good quality craft ink. So I'm going to close that one up, and I don't have quite the same light purple colour, so I'm just going to use this pink ink pad here. So this is a VersaFine Clair ink pad. This is one of the brands that I recommend and sell. So same thing, we're gonna tap, 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 push and lift. Just gonna wipe that off there, put my lid back on, and I will show you a bit of a comparison of those. So you can see that the VersaFine gives a much clearer, bolder result than the Melissa & Doug ink does. So this one is okay, it's fine. It'll still, the stamps will still work with it, but you'll get a better result with these VersaFine ink pads here. So as I said, see what you have at school. There may be something that's suitable. There may be some inks that totally don't work at all. And I'm just going to talk to you a little bit more about the VersaFine range. So there's the VersaFine Clair, and then there's the VersaFine. So this one is an older ink pad. It has a hinged lid. It's just an older style, and it'll mostly be these ones that I'm selling. I've chosen these ones because they come in a good range of colours. The VersaFine don't have quite that many colours, but the VersaFine Clair have heaps of really nice colours. I think they have something like 24 colours. And they give a really good coverage on the stamp, as you can see. They are non-toxic, which is important. They'll last you a really long time. They will last a lot longer than this style of ink pad will. And I actually had a look at some of my VersaFine ink pads that I've had, and that's this style that I've had for around 10 years, to see how they stamped. And you can see these ones here. This is an orange ink pad, and this is a red ink pad. And even after 10 years, it's not too bad. They're not quite as juicy, as you would say, for an ink pad, but it's still not bad after all that time. The VersaFine ink is also water resistant, so it's water resistant on paper, but if you get it on your hands, which the kids will get it on their hands, It does wash off, maybe not straight away. It's a little bit like Edycol dye. It can hang around for a bit. On clothes, I'm not sure how it goes on clothes. It's not something I've sort of investigated, but I would suggest that the kids wear painting aprons to start with when they start stamping. And I think that's pretty much all I need to say about the ink pads. There are heaps and heaps of ink pads out there by lots of different companies, but I really like the way that these ones work, so that's why I'm recommending those. One thing that I forgot to mention with inks is that over time they can stain your stamps. And if they do stain your stamps, that won't affect the performance of the stamp. The stamp will still work totally fine. Some inks will stain worse than others. An example here is a stamp that has been stained over the years, and it's been used with different inks, not so much the VersaFine. I find that the VersaFine are actually pretty good with staining. They don't stain too much and they wipe off pretty easily. But as I said, if your stamps get stained over time, that's fine. As long as you clean them properly and you clean all the ink off, you will still get some staining happening, and as I said, that doesn't affect how they work at all.